the day Paul faced the gods of Greece, and it came to pass that the wind of the Spirit blew upon the lands of the east, and a man named Paul was moved within his heart. He had preached in Jerusalem, in Damascus, and in many cities, but now the Lord was calling him beyond the seas. During the night, a vision surprised him. There stood a man from Macedonia, saying, "Come over to Macedonia and help us." And Paul, without delay, understood that it was God himself who was calling him to carry the light of the gospel to the land of philosophers, the dwelling place of altars and statues where many gods ruled, yet none were alive. Thus, he sailed across the Aegean Sea and arrived at the city of Philippi, and from there he entered Athens, the jewel of Greece, whose very name came from a Greek goddess. There, he saw temples rising toward the heavens, shining marble columns where Greek philosophy flourished, and wise men who spoke of human wisdom, filling the squares with their words, yet they ignored the eternal truth. In the midst of the Areopagus, Paul observed the city and saw hundreds of altars built by a polytheistic generation. The Greek idolatry spread everywhere. With a heart filled with grace, Paul found an altar inscribed with the words, "To the unknown God." It was there, among the altars of the gods and the curious eyes of the Greeks, that Paul stood and spoke with a firm voice. "Men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are very religious. For as I passed by and observed your altars, I found one that said, 'To the unknown God,' the one whom you worship without knowing him. I proclaim to you, the God who made the heaven and the earth does not dwell in temples made by human hands. He is the one who gives to all life, breath, and all things. For in him we live, and move, and have our being." And many mocked, saying, "What new teaching is this?" But others came closer, and their hearts were set aflame. Among them was a man named Dionysius and a woman named Damaris, and they believed, following the path of truth. Thus, the word of the Lord flourished among Greek columns and pagan squares. For where the name of Christ is proclaimed, even the altars of idols tremble. And to this very day, the voice of Paul echoes among the nations, reminding us that faith does not belong to a culture, but to the heart that listens and believes. For God does not dwell in temples of stone, but in hearts surrendered to his will. If you were inspired by this story, leave us a like and subscribe to our channel. Vitrion Biblica will continue bringing new revelations from the Word.